Podcast. I'm Darian.
I'm Mike, and let's talk about today's first. Well, it's not today, technically, it's tonight. But tonight's first game: Panthers-Steelers.
Panthers-Steelers.
Huh?
No, I was just repeating it. What Panthers-Steelers? Oh man,
Panthers-Steelers.
This is an interesting game, right? Like, I don't know.
Well, so here's the thing, right? Here's this. I know originally I was leaning maybe Carolina's got a shot, but here's the problem.
They're gonna win. What do you mean they have a shot?
No, they're not.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, they're not. It's going to be cold, and it's going to be raining. And so you know what that turns into?
Cam Newton running over all the Pittsburgh Steelers defenders?
No.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. James Conner running all over the Panthers defenders.
I mean, okay, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I just feel like the Panthers are in a much better rhythm right now. I think ever since they lost to... Who did they lose to like 3 weeks ago? Oh, the Redskins. They lost to the Redskins in Washington, I think. And then they came back from down like 17-0 against Philly. They won that game the next week. And ever since then, they haven't lost in like 3 weeks in a row. And I just like how... I think they're playing really good football right now. Christian McCaffrey's balling. Cam Newton looks really good. I don't know. I just feel like this is a Cam Newton torches the Steelers in Heinz Field kind of night.
I don't see. Here's where I'm here. This is what I feel. You know, so Pittsburgh opens the season playing. See, we're supposed to try to make this a snappy one. This ain't going to be a snappy one. Well, this to me is going to actually be a game that I will actually pay attention to, even though I'm working. And luckily, my boss doesn't listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
So, week 1 they lose to Cleveland, right? That whole game was just weird.
What are you talking about? The Steelers? You mean they tied?
No, they didn't lose. They tied. Yeah. Right. So whatever. Next week they run into the Kansas City Juggernaut after still being shell shocked from tying Cleveland, and they only lose by 5.
Yeah, I mean, they were down a bit, but they actually started to come back in that game because they were getting
right. So then, the next week they put an end to Fitzmagic.
Yeah, on Monday Night
Football. And beat Tampa Bay. Then they ran into Baltimore on the one day that Joe Flacco throws for 365 yards or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, and Baltimore's a really good defense, but yeah.
Right, and then they crush Atlanta. They beat Cincinnati. They crush Cleveland. They beat Baltimore in Baltimore. I think they're pretty much rolling themselves. They've won their last 4 games. They haven't lost since September 30th.
Okay.
And they've destroyed everybody else, whether it was in their house or in the other people's house. Other team's house. People.
All right, you've made a compelling
teams
argument.
Are people too.
You've made a compelling argument. I think you actually might be right, but I'm sticking with Cam Newton because at some point he's got to throw 6 touchdowns to get himself in the MVP race so that I can be right.
It ain't going to be in the freezing cold rain.
I don't know, man. Cam Newton's not really affected by weather that much as far as I can tell. He's not one that's not like Drew. No offense, but he's not like Drew Brees or anything. You know what I mean? Cam Newton's... He's got 15 touchdowns and only 4 picks this year, and then almost 2,000 yards already. He's not playing poorly.
I didn't say he was playing poorly. I was just saying it's really freaking cold and it's going to be rainy and hard to throw the ball.
No, I'm not saying you said that. I get you. You're right. I'm just saying from an MVP standpoint, but I just think Patrick Mahomes would have to literally be out the rest of the year for anyone else to like have a shot. So. Well, I mean, we never know because week 12 or whatever it was last year, Carson Wentz was pretty much decided as MVP, and then he died that year. So, all right,
not literally for the people who don't follow football. He didn't really die.
Yeah, he didn't.
Figuratively speaking, I'm taking the Steelers. I don't see the high. So it's a Thursday. It's a night game, right? So 8:30. So the projected temperature at start is probably going to be about 38 degrees.
Yeah, I mean, Thursday night games are weird, though, man. You got to remember that. They're never cut and dry. They're always weird. Unless it's New England playing the Colts, and they just whoop their ass.
Or the Niners playing the Raiders. And I picked the Raiders, by the way. Their consecutive lose streak is on.
Yeah, we should talk real quick. I forgot to mention at the top of the podcast. I'm taking Carolina there.
I got the Steelers.
I was very, very sick to the one person who probably maybe doesn't even care about this podcast. I was very sick last week, and we just couldn't get to doing this podcast, so we skipped it. But we did make our picks offline. Do you know how you did? I got 10 right.
How many games? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I also got 10 right.
But oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I got 11 right. I picked San Francisco. I just didn't put it into this website that I'm using because I missed it by Thursday, but I knew I was taking San Francisco. So I got 11.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I took the Raiders, so I lost that one. The Bears won, the Panthers won, the Chiefs won, the Dolphins won. The Ravens lost. The Vikings won, the Redskins lost. The Texans won, the Seahawks lost, right?
Who did you pick between Green Bay and New England? Out of curiosity.
New England.
Oh, okay, good job. Just want to make sure you're.
But, and I will tell you this, and I know you're not going to believe me, and I don't give a shit if you believe me. Oh, pardon, bad word. We'll beep that out. I was picking the Saints.
For what?
To win that game.
Between who? What are you talking about?
The Rams, the Saints Rams. I was taking the Saints because they're playing in New Orleans.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I kind of believe you. No, I do. I picked. I picked the Rams. I got that wrong. So, all right, let's get back on task.
But I did.
Inside joke there.
But I did pick the Cowboys because I didn't. So I think I either missed 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and count them. But I've got them right here. I just have to go back and look. I know I missed the Raiders one. I know I missed the Redskins one. I know I missed the Cowboys one. But I think there's one more in there that I missed somewhere, but I'm not sure. So I either got 9 or 10 right.
Yeah, I just missed the Ravens, the Rams, and that's it actually. And then all the other ones I got right. So.
Yeah, well, the Raiders are like my. I will pick them. I will continue, just so everybody knows. I will pick them every week until they win, and then I will start picking intelligently. Because I'm on a losing streak, and I like that. I need the number 1 overall pick. So back to the task at hand here.
Yeah. So the Sunday game.
Yeah. So we got the Panthers Steelers done Thursday night. You're taking the Panthers. I understand why. I just don't like the weather situation. If they were playing in Carolina, or if they were playing at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, then I would be much more inclined to maybe go with you. But the Steelers have been rolling the last 4 weeks, and it's going to be cold and raining, and that's got run written all over it. So that's my thing. So now we'll go to another game that is going to be impossible to pick. Not really.
No, it's not.
The Saints and the Bengals. It's going to be 45 degrees, cold. Right, but it's going to be just partly cloudy, so no rain, no weirdness there, so everybody should be fine. And 45 is not that cold. Maybe right at 1 o'clock in the afternoon afternoon technically Sunday.
The one thing that does scare me about this game is going to be the temperature because it's not in New Orleans. But overall, I think that they're just playing much better football right now, and I'm taking the Saints because they're kind of on a roll. And the Bengals, they've lost 2 out of the last 3. They beat in a shootout, they beat a bad Tampa Bay team, but they got blown out by Kansas City, and then they lost by a touchdown to Pittsburgh at home before that. So, I mean, Cincinnati's still 5-3, so they're not terrible, but I'm not sure what they are. They're not playing their best football right now, and I think New Orleans is, so I'm taking the Saints.
Yeah, I'm taking the Saints too. I'm not really concerned about the weather. If it was raining, I might ponder it a little bit, but not really. They got Mark Ingram, they got Alex Kamara.
Michael Thomas. Put some respect on Michael Thomas's name.
Well, no, I'm just talking about running game. If it was raining,
I just thought you were naming skill position players, and I'm like, come on, man, you got to throw the top.
No, see, you were telling me earlier. This is pre-podcast conversation for the how the world wants to know. You were telling me how you were talking about Josh Gordon.
Oh, he's the greatest hands. I love his hands.
Hey, I will take Mike Thomas every day, all day, every day,
I would
over anybody else in the NFL right now.
Ooh.
At receiver. I ain't playing.
I don't know, man. That boy DeAndre Hopkins is sick, but let's not get sidetracked.
I know, but let's not get sidetracked. Yeah, so, anyways, back to my point. My point was that it's going to be cold. Drew Brees went to Purdue. Purdue's in Indiana. It snows in Indiana all the damn time, so he ain't worried about the cold.
Right.
It's going to be clear. He'll be able to throw it. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to have 90-mile-an-hour winds. I don't know about that, but I don't really see any way that the Saints can lose this game to the Bengals, no matter where it's played.
I do if Andy Dalton comes out like his hair's on fire. But boom, get it? Because he's redhead? Anyway. But no, because there's just some days where Andy Dalton throws like 3 70-yard touchdowns to A.J. Green, and it's like, all right, this is happening to us today. But I just think, yeah, like you were saying, I honestly think the Saints offense is too good. And I just wanted to throw out that even though there's been that kind of thing about the Saints in the past, Drew Brees doesn't play that well in the cold or away from New Orleans. Well, they did just beat a pretty decent Baltimore team in Baltimore a couple weeks ago. So I'd say
And
that.
they just beat the freaking Rams, dude.
Yeah, they whooped the Rams' ass. They only won by 10, but it wasn't that close for most of the game.
Yeah, exactly. So
So
I got the Saints. You got the Saints, right?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, we were talking.
But I bet you it's only by a touchdown though. I think it'll be kind of a close game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be close or not. I don't know enough about the situation. I will be able to figure it out later. So now, do we even want to talk about the next game, or we just want to go ahead and announce our pick and be done with it?
We do, because this game's going to go to overtime, and it's going to be a fun game, and we're both going to be like, dude, can you believe that game was actually fun?
No, it's not, because Bruce Irvin just got signed by the Atlanta Falcons this morning, and he's going to run around the edge of the line, and he's going to freaking crush Baker Mayfield all day long.
That might happen. So Falcons at Browns. That's true. I'm not sure, man. The Browns have just been super interesting and frisky all year, so I think it'll just kind of continue. Except for when they played. Who did they just get destroyed by a couple weeks ago? I don't remember who it was. I think it was Cincinnati. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, I'm taking Atlanta because their offense is still pretty powerful, and Julio Jones finally scored some touchdowns.
Yay, Julio got a touchdown. Just so you know, they got destroyed by Pittsburgh, and then they got destroyed by Kansas City. The last 2 weeks they've been destroyed. And this week, playing Atlanta with all of their secondary out, so they can't cover Mohamed Sanu, they can't cover Julio Jones, they can't cover Calvin Ridley, they can't cover Tevin Coleman, or Campbell.
Austin
Coleman.
Hooper.
Yeah, Austin Hooper, whatever. Is it Campbell or Coleman? One of them's a singer and one of them's a football player.
Tevin Coleman.
Yeah, Tevin Campbell's the singer then. Okay.
Yeah, there's not much to say. Like you said, their secondary is going to be out. It's the Browns, who are frisky-ish, but they're competitive to a point. But yeah, Atlanta should be able to outscore them and just run it up.
Yeah, I almost typed down Browns for your pick, so that would have been pretty funny, huh?
No, it's not funny at all. I would have deleted every podcast we've recorded and never. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, moving on. Yeah. Lions at the Bears.
Well,
apparently, this Khalil Mack, huh?
I want to know who you got.
For what game?
No, yeah, this game. Come on.
Oh, I'm taking the Bears.
Yeah. Really?
Oh. Yeah, they got Khalil Mack. Well, friggin' Lions are 3-5, and the Bears are 5-3 without Mack the last 2 weeks, and they get him back. He's practicing today.
I'm taking Detroit.
Huh?
Sorry, I just wanted to yell. I'm taking Detroit. Because I get what you're saying, but I'm tired of hearing about Khalil Mack now, because the 2 games before and I get maybe he was still kind of hurt before he actually started missing games. He wasn't that effective anyway, and he wasn't playing his best football, and he may have been hurt.
He was hurt. He started off great, and for the first 3 weeks or so, and then he tweaked his ankle, and he kept tweaking it because Now, I'm not saying nothing, but he's used to playing in Oakland on a baseball field where there is no grass and no mud, no nothing. It's like hard as rock. And then he goes to Chicago where it's all smushy mushy. So he's just not. He's got to get his legs. He played college ball at Buffalo, and he's used to it just being frozen there. So anyways, now he's the real deal. He's the real deal, and he's back, and he's healthy, and he's practicing. He'll play.
This is aside because I don't know what else to say about this game. I do think Detroit's going to win because I think they're playing really well right now. But I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility for Chicago to win. So you're taking the Bears. I'm taking the Lions, right?
I'm taking the Bears. You're taking the Lions, and they're playing really well recently. Mm-hmm. They just lost to Minnesota 24-9.
Yeah.
And then the week before, they lost 28-14.
Yeah.
Oh, but they did beat the mysterious Miami Dolphins 32-21. And they were playing in Minnesota, dude. When they got Everson Griffin back, never stop. Anyways, but I do agree with you. They've got a running game now. If they can play in Minnesota when they get Everson Griffin back the first week, it's a tough deal. So I'll give them a bye on that one. And then the Seattle game, that was just a wreck.
I think the Lions are just frisky. I honestly do. I don't know
why. You like that word today.
And it's just hard for me to pick a Trubisky-led team, like I've said all year, basically. I've kind of been picking against him all year just because I can't really trust him.
Hey, I can get behind that. And I would not be real surprised, but they don't have Golden Tate. They got Kenny Galladay. Dude, you see that catch Kenny Galladay made the other day?
He's so good, dude. Him and their rookie running back. What's his name?
Kerryon Johnson, dude. He's from Auburn.
They're both
or damn Eagle.
They're both so good, man. Like, they're both freaking awesome. So,
I can't believe I just yelled that. I'm a friggin' Georgia Bulldogs fan. I just yelled War Damn Eagle.
Yeah, that's weird, man. You're weird, man. All
Okay.
right, so instead of talking about Cardinals at Chiefs, because we're not going to even mention it other than the fact that
I'll put in Chiefs as our picks.
Yeah, we're both taking Chiefs. I want to go back to what we were just talking about real quick, and we're going to use the time that we could have been using for this game to talk about something more important. If you're playing on that Oakland field, that's like hard as a rock because it's like a dirt field.
Only the diamond is hard as a rock.
Right. But that's what I mean. If the dirt, is it like getting tackled twice because you get hit and then you have to hit the ground too?
Well, yeah, and not only that, the worst part about it is that stuff is like, it's not dirt. Like, we live in Georgia, in case everybody doesn't know, and there's a lot of red dirt, but it's red clay. So it's hard, but, it can be smushy. But that stuff is made for traction.
Right.
And it's not clay. It's like this, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I think it's like this crushed cinder stuff.
Right.
Because it's real gritty. It's like sand, but like giant chunks of sand. It's like, it's hard.
All right, that was Cardinals at Chiefs.
yeah. Anyways, yeah, so to answer your question, yes.
Okay, no, I just thought it would be really funny to act like we were talking about the game. All right, Chiefs by a lot. All right.
Yeah. Unless Chandler Jones breaks Patrick Mahomes in half, and then God knows what'll happen. But I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen. As much as it would be definitively, well, not definitive, but it would be much more clear or probable that the Patriots go to the Super Bowl if that were to happen. I don't want it that way. I want to beat Kansas City. I want to beat them again because we have beat them once. All right.
Patriots at the Titans.
Yes.
1:00.
New England is scoring at least 35 points a game for the last, I don't know. Let me Google it. You go ahead and talk about this game. What do you think? I was not prepared. Go ahead.
Let me Google it. What do I think? I think the Titans' offense is ranked 30th. I think their defense is ranked 8th. But that was without Marcus Mariota.
Right.
And Mariota's back. Not playing terrible-ish. And by the way, no, they haven't put up 35 points. They put up 35 points once 3 weeks ago.
I don't want to talk about it. No, honestly, I forgot about the Monday night game in Buffalo where we only scored 25. I mean, they scored 6, but
it's Buffalo with Nathan Peterman. What do you expect?
Well, Buffalo has
they're
the third.
They're lucky
defense.
They scored 6.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, Buffalo does have like the third best defense, basically. Not literally, but it's like a top 5 defense. But yeah, and I forgot that I thought they got over the 35 hump against the Packers, but they only hit 31. But yeah, because in my mind,
I don't know, man. I'm not hating on the Patriots because ordinarily I would without even questioning it, I would just pick the Patriots, right? I would just blindly say, "Oh, it's the Patriots. They're playing somebody else."
That's what you should do.
So
it's the right move.
Well, but I don't know, man.
Why?
So they beat Dallas. Well, hold on. So they beat Dallas. Dallas has got Dallas's defense is the number 3 defense in football.
Right. You're talking
like
about the Titans.
Dallas has got like a pass rush from hell. They lost to the Chargers, who we both consider to be 3rd or 4th, depending on which week it is, right? Best team in the AFC. They lost to them by 1 in LA.
And they could have won that game. Remember, they went for 2.
They should have won that game.
Yeah, so I do want to point that out because I don't think Dallas is a pushover offensively, but defensively they're harder to beat because they have a pretty good defense. Like, they really do. Like you said, the Chargers, they could have won that game. But then you go to getting shellacked 21-0 at home against the Ravens 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, but Mariota wasn't playing.
Yeah, I know. But then you go to losing to Buffalo the week before that, who's like one of the worst teams in football.
But Mariota only played like part of it till he got hurt.
I know. I'm just saying.
And then you go to they beat the World Series champions, the Super Bowl champions. They beat the team that went to the AFC Championship game. They beat the Houston Texans, and then they lost the 9-hour Thunderdome game in Miami the opening week. But Tennessee is not. I don't know, man. Ooh, I gotta have an upset pick. We keep picking the same teams.
No, we picked different. We got Detroit, Chicago different. You can go ahead and take the Patriots and be safe this week if you want to try to catch up to me.
I'm taking the Titans.
You know what's funny though? I would not be surprised if they went and beat our ass. Like, not like definitively like destroyed us, but like if they beat us by like 10, I wouldn't be surprised.
I would be surprised if they beat you by 10. I wouldn't be surprised if they do some whiz bang thing and end up like finagling a point at the end.
Yeah.
Or winning by 2 on some crazy last-second field goal by Run Suckup.
I just think that they've got, I don't know, they've got interesting defensive pieces, and so if they can capitalize on like a mistake by New England, that can flip to 10 points. Do you know what I mean? Because if you can get like a defensive touchdown, and if you can stop them again, and just keep getting points. Obviously, that's literally how football works. But I mean, I don't know, man.
No, I get what you're saying.
They can pile on the road, is what I'm saying. It's easy for that to happen. Not usually against New England, but it's possible.
Right. Well, I'm banking on this. I'm banking on it's a nice day. It's 50 degrees and breezy. No rain shenanigans. Vrabel knows what's going on. He's been in the Patriots land for many, many, many years. He knows how they work. I mean, I'm not saying he knows the plays and schemes and all that, but I mean, he understands why they win year in and year out, right? So he's trying to instill that. He's had some injury issues at quarterback and some other crazy Thunderdome games and other stuff. But all in all, Tennessee's a pretty damn good team. They got the 8th-ranked defense, and I don't know. I think they have a shot. I don't know in my heart that I really believe they'll win, but I'm gonna pick them. So you know what I'm saying. So now we're gonna go to a game that nobody cares about.
You're gonna. Well, yeah, I don't think anyone cares. Redskins at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Alex Smith has not been playing that well this year, which is kind of underrated, like an underrated thing. Like he he just hasn't looked that great this year. And Adrian Peterson is pretty much their whole offense.
Yeah, how long is he going to hold up, though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, but
at some point he's going to be like, I'm hurt. Where's Samaje Perine? Get him back in here to run the ball some.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're still in first place in the NFC East, right?
I believe so, only because there's nobody else with a record that's as good as theirs. Because they're 5-3.
That is how it works.
Huh?
I said that is how it works.
No, but I'm just saying they're 5-3, and the Eagles I don't think are 5-3. No, the Eagles are 4-4, and the Cowboys are 3-5, and the Giants suck. So
yeah,
Giants. Yeah, they're in first, but I don't think they're going to end up this season in first.
What was that last thing you said about the Giants?
They suck.
I know. I just wanted to hear it again. All right.
I can say it for the rest of the podcast if you want. Every time I stop, I'll end my sentence with the Giants suck, but I won't. So here's the thing, though. Washington was, they've been banking all this stuff on their defense, right? I don't want to talk about this a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're not known for scoring points, although they put up 31 on Green Bay. That's kind of funny.
Not really, because Green Bay's defense has a lot of holes in it.
Yeah, and that was before they started getting guys back, too, because Green Bay's defense has gotten a little bit better because they got Mike Daniels back and a few other guys. But anyways, I digress. The point is, the Falcons straight smoked them, and Washington only put up 14 points on a seriously injured Atlanta defense.
Very bad defense, yeah, because they're all hurt, right.
Yeah, so I just don't think Washington's going to put up the points.
I don't think so either. The Buccaneers, sorry to interrupt you, the Buccaneers are scoring almost 25 a game the last 4 weeks. Pretty much they are.
That's even with famous Jameis messing some of them up.
Yeah, exactly, because their lowest scoring total in the last 4 weeks was 20. Oh, I'm sorry, they're over 25. I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at the Browns had 23, but now they had 26 that game too. So yeah, at least
other than Week 4 against Chicago when Trubisky went bonkers and Mac still played really well and Jameis was the quarterback. They've put up 26 points at least every single game.
Yeah,
and I don't think Washington's going to put 26 up on the Broncos, not the Broncos, on the Bucs.
No way, and I can't believe it's funny. It's funny that we're both picking them, but yeah, I agree with you completely. Tampa Bay is going to win this game. Plus, it's in Tampa, so it's going to be hot. It's going to be ugly.
And humid and sticky and icky.
And Alex Smith is just going to be like, just go back to the plane and just...
Can we just leave now, Coach?
Can we just go?
Okay, so now, this game, Jesus.
So who's playing for? Okay, so Bill. So we're both taking the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Bills at Jets. Who's the starting quarterback for the New York Football Jets?
It will be Josh McCown.
Oh my God! I'm taking the Bills because, oh my God, it's Derek Anderson versus Josh.
No,
McCown.
Derek Anderson's still in concussion protocol, I believe.
Oh my God! It's Nathan Peterman. Oh my God!
It's the Peter.
Okay. Can I actually pick a tie? No, I can't.
Well, it says now. I'm checking the injury report, and it says Josh Allen, quarterback, status questionable, date November 7th. That's today or yesterday. It doesn't matter. Injuries at elbow.
Oh, hey.
Returned.
Sorry.
It says likely will play.
Who?
Josh Allen.
I do want to mention one thing because
I thought it was going to be the Peter against the old guy. It's going to be.
Nah, I can't believe they rushed him back. I don't know who to pick, man. I'm taking
Well, it's
Josh
crappy
McCown.
versus crappier.
I'm taking Josh McCown at home. Jets. Jets.
Right.
Jets.
Jets.
Who are you taking?
I'm taking the Bills because their defense doesn't suck.
No, it doesn't.
And if they got Josh Allen back, at least he can throw the ball.
Yeah, but can he throw it how he normally throws, or is his arm going to be all wonky?
I don't know, but I'm willing to gamble, baby.
Yeah, you clearly are willing to gamble.
That's right. Jaguars at the Colts, a battle of 3 and 5. It tells us the weather, and we don't care because they're in a freaking dome.
Does it really tell the weather? That's funny.
Yeah, the high is 43 and the low is 33. Partly cloudy. Who cares? They're in a building.
Hey, man, they got to walk to the stadium, or they got to go inside the stadium.
Colts,
oh,
true. That's true. They have to get to the stadium, huh?
Colts have scored over 34 points or higher the last 3 weeks.
The Jaguars got a lot of hurt people, but I heard Fournette's coming back this week. I heard he's practicing.
Yeah,
like
well,
he's actually
you
practicing.
let me know when Blake Bortles isn't their quarterback. Colts by 10. I'm
more curious. So I'm taking the Colts also.
Yeah, they're just scoring a lot of points, and it's in Indianapolis, so they're going to be comfortable, you know.
Well, the reason why I'm taking is because AJ Bouye is out, so I don't think Leonard Fournette's going to make that much of a difference as far as stopping the Colts.
No, I agree. And also, did you hear about what was the story that came out last week about the Jaguars after the game, where basically one of the defensive linemen for the Jaguars was screaming at somebody else in the locker room, and the PR people actually opened the door, and the media.
Oh, that was Calais Campbell and
Ngakoue or whatever his name is.
Ngakoue, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and they're screaming, and then the PR people are like, let's close these doors, and they closed them again. And who is it? Jalen Ramsey, who said there's something going on here, or you see how we get along. There's something going on that no one wants to talk about, so we won't talk about it, though. Which is obviously that we have Blake Bortles as our quarterback still. Why? God damn it. No, that's seriously what he said, and I know that's what he meant.
I mean, dude, so honestly...
He's like, what he's really saying is, why don't we have Colin Kaepernick in here right now?
Well, okay, so let's not get into that whole rabbit hole, but I can literally tell you right now, before the trade deadline... There's probably there's probably 5 quarterbacks that could have been traded for or free agents signed for either nothing or next to nothing that is better than Blake Bortles.
You're going to tell me right now, I agree completely, by the way, with what you're saying. I'm sorry, I'm still fired up about this because they should be winning games, but they have no quarterback. So the defense has nothing to play for, so that's why the defense isn't playing that well this year, because they're not. Because they know it doesn't matter. Because the guy can't score 12 points. He can't get 4 field goals for him. He sucks. Oh my God, Blake Bortles sucks. Why am I so heated up about this?
I don't know, but I seem to remember a few years ago back when you told me that Blake Bortles was going to end up being better than Derek Carr.
Yeah, well, I'm not so sure he's not that much worse.
Hey, careful. So let's visit. Hold on. Let's visit your statement first.
No, I want to say one more thing, and then I'll let you talk because you brought up someone specifically. You're going to tell me right now that you couldn't think of an offer with all the talent and the picks you have in Jacksonville. You couldn't bundle up something to offer Oakland and say, hey, you guys are 1-8 or 1-7 or whatever you are. Give us Derek Carr. We'll give you Blake Bortles as, obviously you need someone to play a quarterback even if you don't care whether or not you win. We'll give you Bortles. We'll give you 2 first-rounders, and we'll give you, a third. You tell me right now that they wouldn't take that.
I know they would take that, but here's something else they could have done that'd be a whole lot more intelligent. They could have said, hey, Oakland, we'll give you a 2nd and a 4th for A.J. McCarron.
What? A second and a fourth? No, I'm good.
Dude.
No, I'm
But
good.
yeah, but I'm just saying. Then you can get rid of Blake Bortles. Oh, and would say, oh, we'll take. You can have Blake Bortles too because you can deal with his money because the Raiders got like 80-something million in cap money now.
I would offer a first and a fourth for a car.
Oh, they would take that in a heartbeat. But
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know because John Gruden's I almost said a bad word. He's a weird cat.
He is, but
he's in love with Derek Carr, dude. He wants to be friends.
I don't think so anymore.
But I'm telling you, dude, AJ McCarron. I mean, AJ McCarron is not a bad quarterback. He's definitely better than Blake Bortles, and you could get him for. I'm just saying, if you did like a second, the Raiders would do it in a heartbeat because they ain't got a second next year.
Oh my god!
Like, we'll give you a second for AJ McCarron. Like, here you go.
I'm just getting so nauseous talking about.
But anyway, so wait. Now back to my thing. So you're talking about Blake Bortles, not putting up points, not being able to throw, and he's shitty and all that stuff, right? Okay. So here's the deal. They put up 31 on your Patriots. And Bortles threw for 376 yards.
Hey,
they put up 31 on the Jets, and he put up 388 yards.
Too bad defense.
They only put up 14 against Kansas City, but he put up 430 yards.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
he sucks.
The problem is this: if you go to the September 23rd, Week 3 game against the Tennessee Football Titans, he was the leading passer in the game. With 155 yards and put up 6 points.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. The problem is you don't know if you're getting 7 against Houston, 6 against Tennessee, or if you're getting 31 against the Patriots and 31 against the Jets. And, so that's the problem.
Also talk about his safety blanket that was pretty underrated. They've been going without Leonard Fournette for off and on for the whole year. B, they lost that kid out. What's his name? Grant? What's his first name? Do you know?
Is it Jakeem Grant?
I think it's something like that. He was awesome. He killed us last year in the AFC Championship game, and dude is really good. They lost him for the year, I think.
Hey, okay, so wait. I'm not trying to cut you off, but I'm cutting you off. We have spent way too much time talking about this stupid-ass game.
Jacksonville, get a quarterback. No one will respect you until you do. All right, next game.
Yeah, so now we're talking
Colts.
The first 4 o'clock game, and I already wrote down the picks, and you got the Chargers, and I got the Raiders, and it's no contest, and it's going to be 71 and sunny in Oakland, and they're not playing on the baseball field. It'll have grass.
I want to know, can you tell me how many points the Raiders are giving up weekly?
How many points they're giving up weekly?
Yeah, like on average. Let's look here.
Probably a ton.
34, 42, 27, 26, 42, 28. Yeah. Chargers scored 26 last time you guys played in LA, 26-10. Chargers are going to score probably 35 today or on Sunday. So, yeah, it's Chargers by a lot. Spoiler alert, you guys aren't going to score 35.
Oh, well, no, because, yeah, never mind. No, I know. I picked the Raiders because I got to keep my streak going. You got the Chargers. I already wrote it down. We'll skip that because we don't care. 4:25 game. Seattle Seahawks at the Los Angeles Rams.
I think the Seahawks are frisky and interesting and, dangerous this year. But at the same time, I think the Rams are going to get right after that disappointing gut check at in New Orleans.
New Orleans, yeah.
Yeah, so I was trying to think of the stadium name, but I couldn't think of it, so I'm like, whatever.
Mercedes-Benz, which is odd because Atlanta's is also called Mercedes-Benz.
That's why I didn't think it was called that anymore, because I actually thought they moved, they owned the name, but I guess they're both named that. That's pretty stupid.
It's Mercedes-Benz. Pretty soon they'll have all the stadiums in the country.
Yeah, I guess that checks out. No, I think the Rams are going to get right. I think it'll be a good game. Seattle's 4-4, but it's in LA. If it was in Seattle, I might actually take Seattle on this too.
Right. No, I feel you.
But no, Rams are going to get right here. They're going to say, all right, look, New Orleans beat us, but we're still the Rams. So let Todd Gurley get 3 touchdowns today.
Yeah.
And Goff will throw for 2, so something like that. So I'm taking the Rams. What do you think?
I'm taking the Rams. Yeah, I don't think there's really any conversation at all. I don't think there's any scenario that I can think of, no matter how nimble Russell Wilson is. Even if Sierra comes out and sings at halftime and makes the world happy, they're still going to lose.
That's funny. Yeah,
I just think that's the case. So yeah, I got the Rams. That's an easy game for me to pick.
Yeah, for sure. And it actually will be a competitive game too. It's just easy to, like I said, I think it'd be easy either way. I think if it's in Seattle, I'd for sure take Seattle too. By the way. So
Yeah.
because they've been competitive this year, they really have.
They have been, but they've been up and down, and they got Chris
Right.
Carson's injured, and Doug Baldwin's injured, and
Yeah, and that's been killing them, the Doug Baldwin injury, because he's Russell
it
Wilson's
says
security blanket.
it says he's going to play.
Yeah, see?
But yeah, okay, how long?
Right.
I mean,
he played last week.
Well, if you call that playing. Okay, so I got the Rams, you got the Rams. Let's move along to the last 4:25 game, the Dolphins at the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
I don't really think weather's going to be an issue. It will be colder than things you can say that are cold that are not on a podcast. The high is 35, mostly cloudy. Might we get snow? We might get snow. They don't have Ty Montgomery to try to run one out at the end of the game. Thank goodness for that, bozo. Yeah, and I like Ty Montgomery too. I just feel bad that he thought it was a good idea to do that.
They obviously were not happy because they just shipped his ass up to Baltimore.
They shipped the next day, like toodaloo, you got to go.
Yep. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, Green Bay by a lot. No, maybe not a lot, but like
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it'll be a lot. I think it's actually going to be kind of a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be somewhere. Well, I mean, this is what I consider lower scoring since they continue to set scoring records. I think it'll be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 24-17, 21-13, something like that.
Yeah. See, I can see like 31-17 with like a garbage time Green Bay touchdown, but like something like 24-17 seems right. So I think it's going to be one of those games where like both teams are just kind of drudging along, just like their seasons are, honestly, because both of these teams are going nowhere this year.
Well, and that's the crazy thing is that we're sitting here ho-hum talking like, oh, yeah, whatever, Packers win. They're 3-4-1, and the Dolphins are 5-4 without their starting quarterback, with Brock frickin' Osweiler.
Right.
But I know what you're saying. It's just so weird that we're sitting here talking about like how they both suck, and one of them is only.
And I don't think. Well, here's the thing. I don't think they both suck.
I don't mean suck, but I mean just kind of like plodding along. You know what I mean?
Because they are. They honestly are. Their whole seasons, both their seasons have been just like, all right, let's win this game. All right, let's lose this game. All right, let's win this game. All right, let's lose this game. It's like, come on. Can you guys just put together some type of run?
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, if that Week 1 game, Thunderdome, didn't happen as a Thunderdome and it happened anywhere else or in other weather conditions, Tennessee would have won that game. And the Dolphins would be 4-5.
I agree with you because they were not a 3-0 team. I mean, it says they were, but they were not a 3-0 team.
No. So anyway, we both got the Packers. Let's toodaloo that one.
Oh, did I say Green Bay? Yeah, I did say Green Bay. I'm sorry. I was making sure because then I started to think about Miami and I was like, wait a minute.
You can pick Miami if you want to pick Miami.
No, I'm taking Green Bay. It's a smart pick, so.
Yeah, I just think they will because it's cold. They're used to it. It's there. Miami's from Miami, and it's not cold.
Plus, Brocktober is over. It's November now, so he's done.
I love that. You should trademark that and put it on a T-shirt.
It was on the Around the NFL podcast. I stole that.
So. Oh, you plagiarist!
Hey, at least I admitted.
Well, no, you gave him credit though. You gave him credit.
Yeah, I admitted it. You were the one that thought I was some sort of wizard, which I am, but not for that reason. So Sunday Night Football. Dallas Cowboys at Philadelphia Eagles. 3-5 versus 4-4. I'm not gonna.
I'm telling you, the Eagles are going to finish the year like 11-5.
What?
I'm not kidding you. It's going to happen.
You really? Okay, hold on.
Before I say that, let me make sure they don't play the Patriots 4 weeks in a row.
No. Because you and I are actually doing outstanding on this pod, time-wise. Let's look real quick. So, all right. So, hold on. So, who are you picking? Dallas versus Philly Sunday night.
I'm picking Philly.
Okay.
Oh, Philly's got to go to New Orleans. Oh, snap.
Next week.
But then they got the Giants. They got Washington. They got Dallas.
Then they got to go to L.A. for the Rams.
Oh, they got to go to LA for the Rams. Then they play Houston and Washington. So,
but it is at home because Houston's freaking good. Well, they're kind of freaking good. They're on like a 5-game win streak or something crazy.
Yeah, but it could be like Snow Central out there.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, 2 days before Christmas in Philadelphia, it's going to be like either cold as hell or snow.
Philadelphia is just so weird to me because their offense does not look how it looked last year, and their defense secondary is banged up and also just not playing that well. And like, where did the mojo go? And I know it's really freaking hard to repeat. I know that. I know it is. But like, I can't believe they were really that much of a flash in the pan. People were talking about this team like they were the next dynasty. They were like this team is going to be good for a long freaking time. And now it looks like it was like a one and done almost.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm taking them at home against Dallas, by the way, on Sunday night. I am taking them at home, but I'm just worried about them because they don't look the same. You know, they just don't.
Well, here's my thing. This is why I say 11-5. They also just got Golden Tate.
Right. And you know, he's a good player. He's a very good player.
He's Mr. Golden. I can get open Tate. It's if I can get so short story because we are doing well on time. We've only got one other guest. I'm picking the Eagles also, by the way. Short story, not even story. Short little blurb I want to say here.
Go.
So I'm a UGA fan, right? University of Georgia, go Dogs, whatever. So Matt Stafford played here. I'm a huge Matt Stafford fan. Here's the thing, though. Matt Stafford is not what I would like to refer to as the most accurate of quarterbacks. It was like, oh, well, he's got a 60 whatever percent or 70, whatever percent completion percentage for his career. Yeah, because he's throwing to 9 foot tall Calvin Johnson.
Right.
All right. So he's not like the most accurate guy in the world. Carson Wentz is pretty freaking accurate. I mean, I think Golden Tate is going to love playing at Philly. He's got other guys to take pressure off him. Got Ertz, got Burton, got Algalore, got all these dudes to take pressure off of him. And I think their offense is going to explode. The defense is going to get healthy.
They did lose Jason Peters. How long is he out for?
Jason Peters
he got hurt because
I think he got put. Did he get put on? No, he didn't get put on IR. I don't know, but he's not even on the injury report.
Okay, I'm wrong then. I thought he was hurt recently because they were on their bye last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because all right, never mind. I'm thinking of a few weeks ago. That's my fault.
Yeah, but they're
I did forget about the Golden
loaded
Tate
with
trade.
Guys that they got Corey Clement, Wendell Smallwood, Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz. They got all kinds of guys, dude. I think they're going to start thriving more. Darren Sproles is coming back next week,
right.
Maybe this week. I don't know. I think they can pull out 11-5. Anyways, we both got the Eagles. Let me make sure I put that down. I did not. Eagles.
I did not. All right, Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football at the bell bottom. Oh wait, it's not
the bell bottom.
It's not that anymore. It's it is the bell bottom. Never mind. Okay, so we've got the New York Football Giants. This is our last game. Versus the San Francisco 49ers. Nick Mullins, the GOAT.
He is the GOAT.
Versus Eli, the faux Hall of Famer, because he shouldn't make the Hall of Fame.
He beat your ass in the Super Bowl twice.
Yeah, well, the football gods beat our ass in the Super Bowl twice. or should I say David Tyree and Mario Manningham beat our ass in the Super Bowl twice.
Yeah, two guys.
Or should I say anybody but Eli Manning, because I'm like yelling because of freaking Jason Pierre-Paul, Michael Strahan. Eli Manning is not a Hall of Fame quarterback. These are the facts, okay?
He'll get there, though.
Yeah, he will because his last name.
I agree with you.
Because of his last name.
So I'm not an Eli Manning hater, right? Like I don't hate the dude or nothing. I could name. I'm not going to right now because I don't have the wherewithal to try to deal with that. But I can name a bunch of dudes who are better than Eli Manning that for some reason or another didn't have the longevity that he's got and not due to like injury or anything like that. Like here's one, Jake Plummer.
Well, his longevity ended 3 years ago because his career ended 3 years ago. He hasn't been playing good for like the last 3 years.
Well, that's what I'm saying. People keep saying, "Oh, Eli's got it." I'm like, "Well, if he's got it, then why ain't you winning?"
Yeah, if he's got it, why don't he use it?
Yeah, so I mentioned Jake Plummer, Jake the Snake Plummer, right? That dude. There was a Google up on Jake Plummer. He was a really good quarterback. Had a whole bunch of issues with money and this and that. And he's just like, you know what? I just quit. Yeah, I don't want to play for you. Nobody else. So I quit.
I remember.
Yeah, he's a Broncos quarterback. Anyways, and I hate the Broncos, but Jake Plummer's never going to make the Hall of Fame, and he is leaps and bounds better than Eli friggin' Manning. Anyways, the one concern I have about so have you made a pick yet? Yeah. I know who I'm picking. Yeah. I'm sure I know who you're picking. You're probably picking the Niners like I am.
Nick the God Mullins.
Yeah. So the only thing that concerns me a little, and not really concerns me, but is an interesting side note, is Raheem Mostert broke his friggin' arm.
Yeah, it was
done for the year.
bad too. It was violent. Did you see it?
Yeah, I was watching because it was a Raider game, and I was watching us lose because I like doing that, and it's my normal pastime every single week, except on a bye week.
And I heard about the injury, and I didn't mean to, but I accidentally saw just someone post a picture of it, and someone retweeted it, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't need to see that. It was bad, dude."
Yeah, no, they showed it, and they're like, "If you don't want to see it, look away." And so I looked away, and then they didn't say it again, and showed it the second time, and I was like, "Oh, damn, that looks like it hurts." And I've done that to my arm, by the way, so I do know that it hurts. Yeah, so that's it's not really concerning. I wouldn't say I'm not like, oh my God, Raheem Mostert's hurt, so they're gonna lose. But I'm just saying that that's just one less guy they've got going.
No, I feel you, but the Giants are so bad that they could actually probably put you out there at running back, and I think that they would beat the Giants.
Yeah, all I would do is I would like get the ball and I'd run right behind one of the linemen, and then I'd like try to dive between his legs and get a half a yard every time.
So let me ask you one last question, then we're gonna wrap up this pod.
Shoot.
If you've got Saquon Barkley, who is worth the pick, and you've got Odell.
Yes, Saquon Barkley is even better than I thought he was going to be, and I thought he was going to be damn good.
He's sick. He's very good. If you've got Saquon Barkley and you've got Odell Beckham Jr. and you can't score more than 14 points, who's at fault? Eli Manning. He's done.
So back to not being an Eli Manning hater.
I know his offensive line sucks.
No. So listen. So I sort of agree with that. I mean, at some point, they're ninth in passing in the whole freaking league, dude. They're 31st in rushing, and that's probably because their defense gives up a ton of points, and they're constantly having to throw the ball when the opposing defense knows they've got to throw the ball. And if the quarterback doesn't have time, they lose.
He just sucks so much, and I can't believe you're sticking up for him.
I'm not really sticking up for him.
I'm just screwing with you. I know.
But no, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm like, the dude gets sacked at an alarming rate.
He does. I will say this though.
He's like.
I will say this real quick.
My God.
He actually has a career high completion percentage this year, and it's not even close. It's not even close.
He's thrown for 2,400 yards already, dude. He's on pace for 5,000 yards.
Listen to me. On average, his completion percentage for his career is 60.2, and his highest before this year was 2014, where he had 63.1. This year, it's 68.3. So he does have a crazy high completion percentage.
He's been sacked this year as many times as he got sacked all of last year.
Yeah, his sack percentage is double what it usually is, and it's 9 right now. It's 9%, which is
So he had 31 times he got sacked last year. Back in 2013, he was sacked 39 times. He's already sacked 31 times this year. That's the same as he got sacked last year in its entirety.
Right.
I mean,
he's only thrown 8 touchdowns too. That's what's kind of alarming.
Well, you try to throw touchdowns, but he's only got 6 picks. Yeah. I say only, but
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just
saying that if the New York Football Giants could figure out a way to like stop some people. Yeah. He might have a shot, but I agree. I don't think he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I think
he'll get in because of his last name. It's what it is.
Well, he'll get in because he won 2 friggin' Super Bowls.
Yeah, well,
that's why he'll get in.
Like I said, that defense and those 2 miracle plays won those Super Bowls. But I digress. Okay, because we lost.
So I want to. We got a couple minutes here, real quick. So. They've played 8 games, and of the 8 games that they've played, there's only one that he wasn't the leading passer in the entire game. Like, for both teams.
Right.
He's thrown for 224. He was the leading passer because that was Jacksonville, and Blake Bortles sucks. Threw for 279 against Dallas. Deshaun Watson threw for 385 against him, but they lost. The Giants won. He threw for 255 against New Orleans. Threw for 326 against Carolina. 281 against Philly, 400 against Atlanta, 316 against Washington.
So how does he throw 281 yards against Philly and only score 13 points? Or like that's what I don't get though. And like why did they score 31 points against Carolina and 27 against Houston, but they can't score more than 13 points against a pretty lackadaisical Philly defense at home? Like what is or oh my god, I just don't understand this team. They're just so bad. Pat Shurmur sucks. Eli Manning sucks. Just end me.
So here's what happened in the Eagles game. Interception. Field goal. Punt. Field goal. Punt. Missed field goal. Touchdown. Punt. Turnover on downs.
Yeah. All I know, I don't know, man. I just don't know.
I just don't know.
I mean, first it was the.
But I mean, the dude can move the ball except when he's getting sacked, and the problem is he'll, So here's the thing. So he'll go 65 yards down the field, 75 yards down the field, get at the 3-yard line, then get sacked, then get sacked, then get sacked. Now they're at the 26, and it's 4th and goal.
Right.
Right. So if you're getting sacked at an alarming rate, you're throwing the ball like you're going out of style. But if you're sacked, if they decide, oh, look, we're going to lose the game if we don't bum rush this dude, and they blitz and you get sacked. I mean, what are you going to do?
I know.
He's throwing the ball, but he's getting punished, dude. And he's an old critter.
Yeah.
Anyways, all that being said,
Nick Mullins.
That's right, the GOAT.
The GOAT. Oh, I'm sorry, Nick quotation mark Joe Montana in quotation mark Mullins. There we go. Or Nick Jimmy Garoppolo Mullins, something like that. Nick Steve Young Mullins. We'll work. I'll workshop it.
They've already named him the starting quarterback the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'll workshop it. So, all right. Well, that was.
Yeah, the thing is that Nick Mullins, dude, he has some pedigree behind him. Not pedigree. That's the wrong word. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Jimmy Garoppolo will be back next year. I don't care about Nick Mullins after that. He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT.
All right. Well, that was it for 108.1.
And by the way, it's Nick Mullen. There's no S.
Nick Mullins. All right.
you know what his Twitter handle is?
Nick the God Mullins.
No, extremely online guy.
You're a liar. Let me see. Is it really? Is it spelled right?
Yeah, Nick Mullen.
Okay, I did not spell extremely right. Hold on. Give me a minute.
And it's actually Nick Mullins. My bad. So, no, I lied. That's not his Twitter handle. But interesting note, you know who he was the quarterback for?
Yeah, his thing is Nick Mullins.
Yeah, I know. He was the quarterback for Jalen Richard at Southern Miss.
Yeah, no, I know. I actually did know that. But I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because you shouted out some guy's random Twitter.
Shout out to random Twitter guys.
Extremely online guy. Oh my god. All right.
All right, guys. We've had a lot of fun, and we will talk to you next week.
Good pod.
Yeah, it was a good one.
All right.
Yep. Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.